Hey, Ben, welcome to the Motorsport Coaching Podcast.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, firstly, my name's Ben Mackenzie. I'm from Central Queensland and I am the owner of BPM Livery and Designs.
Fantastic. And what does that actually entail? What does BPM do?
What does BPM do? What BPM is all about motorsport livery design, branding for your race car design, logos, and even a little bit on the side I do a racing suit designs too.
And how did you get into that?
Well, here we go. Here's the story for you. So back in 2018 /18-19, I was fortunate enough to enter a competition for Erebus Penrite when they were together to design a livery for just a competition. It didn't actually go on the car, but I actually ended up winning that competition with the help of my wife, my good wife there. She certainly pushed me and which here I am today. Found the love of it, and after being in another company for 20 odd years, and here I am today.
Were you doing similar work back then, or was this just like a kind of a hobby that you just took up and just had a love of motorsports? And I
was working for actually a company, not to plug other names, but I was working for a company called Mr. Minute, doing key cutting and shoe repairs, and I did that for 23 years. And when I did this competition, it was like I just found something inside me that I just wanted to pursue. So,
and did you have a love for graphic design? I guess, is that what kind of it falls under? Is that what you put it through?
Yeah, I do have a love for graphic design and obviously motorsport as well. But yeah, most definitely, indeed.
Yeah, and so do you race, or have you raced before, or where did the love for motorsport come about?
Motorsport probably came from my father. He was a religious V8, Formula One, MotoGP. So having a lot of motorsport in my house was a big thing, especially Bathurst weekend. That was usually a 2-3 day big event. Friends would come over, big meals and things like that. So that's where I particularly found the love for motorsport, and then didn't think much about what goes into the design process until now. So,
well, that's a great next question. What does go into the design of a livery?
Where do you start? It's all about.
No, you tell us.
Where do you start? It's all about keeping the branding and the sponsor happy. Obviously, keeping the team happy too. So it's it's a merry-go-round with a seesaw event, I believe, in my opinion. So you've sort of got to find that real balance that everyone's happy.
Yeah, so does it start off with you just get a brief, or do you have a communication call with parties, and then it's something that you then meet again every couple of days, or is it just you just do a few different designs and briefs, and that information goes forward or back, or how does that go from point A to actually getting the vehicle wrapped?
Usually what happens is probably 9 times out of 10 in my experience, the team will come to me and say, hey, I need you to design a livery for a car. This is the branding. These are the colours. And then I from there ask the questions. Do they have a favourite colour they would like? Et cetera, what cars are going on to. And then I go from there, and if I'm fortunate enough, I've been lucky a couple of times to nail it first go. Some is a repeat. No, I don't like this. I don't like that. How about you do it like this, or, like that? You've got to be open to constructive criticism, definitely in this field. I'm finding if you don't, then you're in the wrong industry, because You won't get it first time, I guarantee you, every time. So
it's important to have a bit of a resilience.
Yeah, definitely. And good support behind you. Obviously, my wife is a wonderful support. She's definitely my concrete in this, and she understands. And sometimes if I don't feel it or get the feeling from it, I ask her opinion, and it's sometimes good to have that other person on the side just to go, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So she's definitely wonderful.
And is she creative as well, or does she do something?
She actually is. She's very, very creative. Although she will doubt it and say, no, I'm not one bit. She's a very good cake maker. Very good. Has made Star Wars cakes. She's a very good drawer. She's an all-round just good at everything. So
I miss that creative gene. I don't know where that happened.
Yes, same here.
Definitely not my thing.
Mine's come in like 40 years too late, unfortunately. So, but yeah.
But it's fantastic that you found it now. And of course, over your journey, why have you found that branding is really important for
branding? Really, I actually wrote down a thing for this because I wanted to sort of suss out what does branding mean and put it sort of into terms for people. Branding is a good strategy that can help you establish credibility with your audience and connect and communicate with your fans positively, to attract potential sponsors and more. So
that's awesome.
You've got to almost take a brand and complement it and not bring it down, if that's one way of saying it, in my opinion.
Yeah, fantastic. And so you mentioned before that you can assist like with logo designs and car ads.
Yep.
How do you go around about finding or identifying, I guess, your colors, like right back to before you're even about looking at designs? How do you teach?
Do you mean like inspiration or?
Yeah, like finding their color palettes.
Inspiration for me comes in the weirdest places and the weirdest times. I once did just a concept livery design of a sneaker. Mm-hmm. So I took the side of a sneaker and I took that design and put it onto a concept race car. So in that sense, livery designs for me come at the weirdest places. I'm about to put one on Facebook this week, and just a heads up, it's a Lego, and obviously having 3 children, Lego is a very popular thing in our house. So when you stand on it, it certainly hurts very much. So it created the new livery the other day, another concept design.
Yeah, so it's just about keeping, I guess, your eyes are opened and
exactly.
Like finding your design. And do you think people's brand changes over their life period?
Oh, certainly. You look at, I'll give you 2 cases that I've just noticed recently. Red Rooster, their branding and their logo have changed dramatically. It went from a rooster to what it looks like a bread clip now. And then Coffee Club, they've changed all their branding and logo design too. So I think you've got to have a change in branding every so amount of many years to keep current with the market. So I don't understand how Macca's has done it. I think that's a great exception to the rule, but everything else, you've got to, you know what I mean?
I think that they have changed in the sense, obviously, like not only that product changes, like with the Happy Meals going from toys to fruit and different things, but I don't think they have the words McDonald's written underneath anymore. I think it's just the M and the stuff. I think it's just like this little subtle changes, like Auto's just gone through subtle like color change and stuff like that as well. And so when someone's looking to do a logo design, what are some aspects other than like finding aspirations from different color palettes do you have about finding like the right logo design, or what kind of information are you giving out to them?
I look at what they are. Is it what field? Just say we'll take for example a lawn mowing service. So I would look at that. I look at if someone's trying to create what they're trying to create. Are they trying to go for that wow factor? Are they trying to look for something simple or just something like that? And then go sort of talk to them what they're feeling. Once again, colours they want to. How's it going onto a car? Are they going to do a full wrap of the car, or are they just going to do a logo on the side of the car and go from there, really?
Yeah, and do you actually go the full service and after you design it, you actually wrap as well? Well, that's not really...
No. I can tell you now I'm not that talented. If you've ever seen me do contact on the school books... Yeah, I'll leave that's to my wife, that one. She's multi-skilled now. She's very skilled, so she would do that. But no, not the wrapping, just that part. I'll leave that to the other people that are quite talented.
Yeah, I've seen some sign writers do it, and it's just amazing. I don't think I'd have the patience, but again, we've established I'm not creative, so I think you've got to be really creative and that really precise precision, putting it on at the same time and making sure there's no bubbles. Like you said, we can't cover books. We're not going to be able to cover cars.
No, unfortunately not.
And so if people are looking to utilize your services, how do they get in contact with you, or how can they look at the previous work that you've done?
Well, probably the best way to get contact with me is on Facebook, on BPM Livery and Design. And just from there's an email link, or it'll link through to the messenger, and that's the best way to get in contact with me. That's the most I use out of everything. So, yeah. And
then do you have like individual services or packages available for people that are wanting some concept cars?
I had prices based on purely that. From there, I cater to the customer's needs, to what they want from there. So, yeah, you could say I have little packages indeed.
Or it's just, based on individual requirements.
So. Yeah, it's generally just based on that. Yeah, it just depends on what they need, depending on the hourly, if it's just a standard design, we're taking it to that next level where we're going really out there and wild, yeah.
And I guess we should say this is a great time for what is a concept car. It's like, these ideas are fantastic to actually put into your sponsorship proposal. So if you are seeking sponsorship, it's always great that you can send something to the prospectee around about what the car could look like with their logo onto the car. So it's a kind of like just a soft, like little emotional sell for them to actually see and visualize what the car would look like, or the cars would look like with their logo on it. And we know with sponsorship that it's a lot more than just having a sticker on the car, but it certainly does help, and it does stand out for a sponsor if they've seen you've taken that time and that small investment to actually go on to that extra step of getting these concept vehicles put into place.
Yeah, see, many companies have really never thought of sponsoring or having a sponsor on a race car or anything like that. It's not till you do these concept designs that are just, you put them out there that can obviously drive them. They go, oh, we didn't even think about putting our logo on a race car. And next thing you know, and it's a great advertisement way because, frankly, who doesn't love motorsport,
There's a few, but no, there's majority. More people that don't. Yeah, especially have to drive to survive and stuff. So again, guys, if you're looking to, if you haven't already got your brand started, or you're looking to start with your brand, I highly recommend that you give Ben a call or get in contact with him at BPM Livery and Designs. His link will be in today's show notes, and he's also on Instagram as well. No.
No, yep.
Oh, sounds like you're on Instagram. Sure, you're on Instagram. Yeah. Thanks again, Ben, for joining us on the show. Is there any other advice you can give anybody around about, the benefits of having that logo or livery concept design that you can help them with?
Probably the best thing I would probably say to that is if you're looking to put your logo on a race car or something like that, just have a talk to me, or have a think about it, and think about how much more exposure you can really get by having your brand or branding on a race car and get noticed more. So.
Yeah, and again, there's not a lot of service providers that do offer this livery design. So please get in contact with Ben, guys. And thanks, Ben.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
No worries. As a lover of motorsport, for my final question, what is your favourite track in the world and why?
I've got a couple. I've probably got two. Starting with home. Probably my I've got two favourites at home. The iconic Bathurst, no doubt. Soft spot for my very first ever V8 supercar was Oran Park, which is now a residential area, I think I've heard. And then overseas, I'd probably have to go with Spa. Definitely Spa for me. I have a soft spot for that. I don't know something about it. Maybe it's the shape.
Those two are the most popular. So I feel like Oran Park, other than Bathurst, obviously, that's the iconic, of course. But other than Bathurst, I think Oran Park is up there, as well as Spa being a national track. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
All right. Again, Matt, thanks again for your time. Have a fantastic day.
All right, likewise. Thank you.
Hi, Hugh, and welcome back to the Motorsport Coaching Podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, tell us, what have you been up to since you have left Australia?
Quite a lot. So last year I did the French F4, as you may know. And this year we've planned to do a double campaign in both the Spanish and the French once more. And the goal is to ultimately win both championships. And
you're off to a great start.
Yeah, correct. Last weekend was the first round of the French Championship, and not last weekend, 2 weekends ago, 2 weeks ago now, and managed to come away with a 25-point lead. So quite a successful weekend.
Sorry, it just cut out then. Can you say it again?
Which part? Just the end of the.
Yeah, the whole thing again. So how did you go placement-wise?
Good. Basically had 2 poles, 2 wins, and then reverse grid 7th from 10th. So it was a good weekend and came away with a 25-point lead to second. So obviously a nice way to start the year.
Yeah, and when does your French campaign start?
That was the French campaign. So the Spanish starts this weekend.
Yeah, fantastic. And so where are you this weekend?
I'm in Portugal, so in Portimao.
Do you get to do much tourism when you go around to all these tracks?
I wish I did a lot more. I'm not quite I don't have the time usually to do any tourism when I go there. It's usually arrive at the track, maybe if I'm lucky, do a couple hours of sightseeing, and then go back to the track, do your debrief, do your pre-race rituals, and then you're in the car for the weekend. So it's usually the idea of how it goes.
Cool. And I've seen you've been training in a new fitness facility.
Beg pardon?
I see that you've been training in a new fitness facility.
Yeah, so the new training facility is more or less just at campus, which is quite nice. So when I go there for a weekend prior to the race event, I can keep fit and all stuff like this, and train with some teammates and have a bit of fun here and there.
Yeah, so what does your day-to-day look like now?
Extremely busy. Obviously, I still do schoolwork, and so when I'm not at campus or at the track, I'm at home having to do schoolwork. And then basically, it's just a lot of traveling, between the French tracks, the Spanish tracks, and and home. It's just a bit of a logistical sort of adventure.
And your parents still with you?
Yeah, majority of the time, correct. Yes, they will come to all the race events with me, but just not some of the practice days.
Yep. Oh, and so how are you doing? Are they doing homeschooling with you, or do you do it online?
I do it online through a system called VSV, which is Virtual Schools Victoria.
Oh, And what year are you in now?
Year 11, so first year of ECU.
So you mentioned about going to a new track. So what is your mind, or I guess mental prep, or how do you get to learn a new track when you go to these facilities?
It's usually quite simple. Obviously, a lot of sim work is important, just to learn your lefts and rights and have a general idea of where the track goes. And then obviously there'll be a lot of watching onboards from previous years and just being more prepared on what to expect. Under braking zones, if there's is there a bump here? Do I need to open up this corner a bit more? What's the compromise, etc. So it's just a lot of preparing yourself as much as you can, so you're limiting the time that you're spending learning the track.
And how do you go with communicating with your team? Do they mostly speak English, or
the whole team speaks English, so it's easy. Yeah.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
And your personal team has grown over the last year or so since you had personal growth. Tell us about your team.
Yeah, correct. So obviously Mum and Dad is still supporting me more than ever, but I've gained 3 new people, I guess you could say, that are helping me out this year, or actually halfway through last year, I think. And so their names are Elena, Alessia, and Cassidy. So they've been helping me out with my social media, my presence online, and etc.
Awesome. And they don't live there though, do they?
No. Everything's done through online. So Alessia is from Italy, Elena is from Spain, and Cassidy is from Canada.
And you got a new website?
Correct. Yeah. From what I know.
Yeah. And so tell us about that. How does that all kind of work?
Beg pardon?
How does the new website work?
To be honest, I don't think it's too much different from the last one. Obviously, you can see when my next races are, and you can book it into your calendar if you feel like, okay, this is something I would like to watch or something like this. But yeah, it's more or less just a bit more information about me and how you could maybe support me and who my sponsors are. So yeah.
Yeah, so now it's got a platform that can help you. It's got a platform, that can allow you to sponsor you directly.
Almost, yeah. If you got any interest in that, which would be nice.
And how's the sponsorship going while we're talking about it?
Yeah, it's quite good. We picked up a new sponsor called Platinum High Integrity Technologies, which have been a massive help for funding my dream. And hopefully them and I can build a really good relationship this year and continue to win.
And are you finding more of your sponsors are like French based or Spanish based, or they're more international business?
I think it's a bit of everything. So I have one French. Platinum is owned by an Englishman, and then I obviously have Easy Up and Tridel, which are from Australia. So it's a bit of it's a pretty diverse sort of arrangement of sponsors. So yeah.
Awesome. And you just said something that I forgot what I was going to say. That's all right. And so after this, what's your plans, I guess, for 2023?
That's a good question. So at this very moment, we don't really know. Obviously, we want to try and move up from F4. And like last year, I don't know if I told you, or if I told another interviewer. But the plan was to do FRECA all last year until October, when we got basically told maybe we should do another year of F4 for more seat time and experience, which I think was in hindsight was a good option. And I'm glad I've done another year of F4, and especially 2 campaigns. So we'll see where the path takes us, and I have no solid answer, as you could say.
And so your aspirations to go to F1?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's the ultimate goal.
Awesome. And so how can people follow your journey?
People can just follow on any social media platform almost. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, maybe. But yeah, those are probably the main ones that you can see stuff on, and I'll give an update across the weekend. So yeah.
Cool. And have you been home in the last 2 years, or just with COVID?
No. I really wanted to go home last year, and it would be nice to see some friends and family back there. But in the end, it's what I do. It's just what I do, and I'm over here doing what I love. So
And you have
it's not like a. Beg pardon?
Do you have a sister?
Yeah, I have a sister. She is 26 years old, and just got engaged. So yeah. So look forward to see her at the wedding next year.
So you haven't seen her either in 2 years?
No, because I haven't been back. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought she might have flown over now that the borders are open. And
yeah.
And is COVID lifted over there as well?
Maybe a little. Nothing like I don't think we don't have to wear masks anymore, and it's a bit more less restrictive on carrying your sanitary pass everywhere and stuff like this. But it's still very much a worry.
And have you been able to go to any of the F1s?
No. But hopefully this year we might be able to go.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your birthday party. Thanks very much for joining me, Hugh.
No worries.
All the very best this year, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you. No worries. See ya.
Yeah.